I'm EmKay Archlink. I am the author of the book Unseen Powers and the TikToker Ninja Gal MK. Welcome to RAW-tism, a podcast about my autistic experience and my opinions on the world. On this podcast, I will be raw and unfiltered. You are always welcome to disagree with me, as long as you do so respectfully and with no name calling. Any usage of the R slur will get you immediately blocked. Being a nanny to 2 kids under 5 is an adorable experience. The toddler, whom I'll refer to henceforth as toddler, is 3 years old, and the baby, who I'll call baby, is 17 months old. Lately, baby has been learning more and more words. Since I've been with them 45 hours a week since he was 7 months old, he copies me quite a bit. Being autistic and having many vocal stems has made for the most adorable situations. One of my stems is saying the word wee. I'll say it walking down the stairs, moving objects, or when someone trips. It's a way of acknowledging the movement in a way that soothes my brain. Baby has started saying wee whenever he sees the swings, a spinning chair, or anything he wants to jump on. My favorite is when I'm carrying him down the stairs and he looks me dead in the eyes while growling, wee, until I say it with him. Unexpected inconveniences are also very distressing to my autistic brain. I have trained myself with calming vocal stems to help me cope. Toddler will copy these phrases on purpose. If I bump into something or somehow physically maim myself on an inanimate object, I'll pause and say, "Well, that was rude." It's calming because the objects can't have a conversation with me, so I find it funny to talk to them. Toddler does the same. Then he'll look at me with a big grin and tells me I should be proud of him. "Did you hear me, Emily? You should be proud of me. I said that was rude. That's what you say." When I drop something, I tend to say, "Well, that's unfortunate." Toddler will hear me, drop something, then look me in the eye and say, "You're unfortunate." It's so funny to me. My position as both an autistic person and a nanny to itty-bitty children has led me to appreciate my personality so much more. I watch how these kids make my day better simply by mimicking my actions, and I feel a more profound love for myself as a person. If copying me can make my day, I can't imagine what being myself does to those in my life. I love being forced to look in this mirror every day. It's been so healing for my adult self. I make a lot of mistakes. I'm human. It's a part of life. I always explain my mistakes, apologize, and not only promise to do better, but put in every effort toward that goal. These kids know they can talk to me about their feelings, no matter how trivial. They can come to me for comfort, and I'll do my best to improve things. That being said, a lot of the time, there's no more I can do than validate their feelings and express empathy. If they're still determined to break the rules after we talk about the reason, they know the results of their actions. Good or bad, their parents and I always do our best to explain that every action has a consequence. I do my best to be patient with the kids, constantly reminding myself that they are literal babies and still learning. Nonetheless, sometimes I feel like Troy Bolton trying to choose between basketball and singing in High School Musical. I just want to scream my emotions out in a rotating hallway. I want my own dream, so bad I'm gonna scream! Acknowledging my own emotions helps me to understand theirs. If I, a grown 24-year-old human, want to scream because I'm frustrated with this kid who won't listen, how can I expect a little 3-year-old human to not scream when he's frustrated I took his toy even though he didn't want me to? I can do my best to teach him to not give in to the impulse to scream in my face, but I can't blame him for having the impulse. Being an autistic nanny comes with its own set of challenges. If both boys are screaming their heads off for an hour straight, I'm going to be overstimulated and need downtime. Sometimes that means setting them up with a video and hiding in the next room where I can still see them, but they aren't all over me. Other times, it's closing the three of us in a toy room while I lay on the floor, staring at the wall. Baby will cuddle with me and mimic the comforting things I do when he's upset, which is always adorable. Toddler will play quietly and only come to me with things he needs help with. I've explained it enough that they both understand as well as they can that I have sensory needs. Getting cuddled by a baby while a toddler shuts up for the first time all week really helps me come down from a meltdown-worthy place. The toddler has started recognizing my mannerisms when I'm overstimulated. He once told me, "Why are you mad? I'm not screaming." Which shows me that he understands enough to know that his loud emotions affect me, but he hasn't yet made the connection to other senses. Some days, he won't stop touching me. This isn't a problem for the baby because he touches me with a death grip. Toddler only chooses to be gentle when touching me randomly. He'll touch me so light, and to my body, it burns like the sun. Light touches bother me instantly. He doesn't yet understand that he can simultaneously be gentle and firm. Shoving a strong-smelling object in my face is another thing that both boys do to rattle my brain. I know they're trying to share something they find new and exciting, but my nose is so sensitive that it overwhelms my entire thought process. Reminders can be brutal if I get impatient. Younglings need a lot of reminders. It seems simple to ask one of the boys to pick something up and move 2 feet toward where the item goes before putting it back down. It is not. It is way too complicated. There will be pit stops, detours, and even intermissions before the shoe finds its way onto the mat. Sometimes I will find it hours later on a completely different floor of the house, in a place that a little human cannot logically reach. Nothing and everything will surprise you when you spend most of your time with kids. If you think raising children is easy peasy lemon squeezy, you're lying to yourself. The only piece of cake is the one you're cleaning off of every surface, even though there was no dessert left in the house when the kids found it. This is from a nanny. I only do 45 hours a week on average. If you're not a parent, take a moment to imagine how much work goes into being one. It's the song that never ends, with annoying behaviors, messes, and money going down the drain. That was my impression of a drain. I am so sorry. I love these kids more than I could ever truly understand, but I don't have the capacity to come home to my own kids after working all day. Working parents who don't ignore their children are powerful. It's incredible. I don't even want to think about stay-at-home parents. Sometimes my favorite part of being a nanny is getting to leave the kids at the end of the day. Stay-at-home parents don't get that luxury. Their job is 24/7. They don't get to be done for the day. Their work follows them to their bedroom and enters their nightmares like a horror villain. I may have gone a little off track, but that's par for the course with me, folks. My point for this episode is to express how hard this job is while also gratifying. This job is healing my inner child as I treat these kids how I wish I'd been treated. I love my job and the opportunities it has afforded me. Regardless of your thoughts and feelings toward me, I have a love for every one of you. You are wanted by many, loved by many, and so many want you to stay in this world. I am one of these manys and always will be. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and thank you for listening to RAW-tism. If you'd like to support this podcast, the description includes links with referral codes to Circle's water bottles, Pair Eyewear's customizable glasses, and my favorite Amazon products. The transcript for this episode can be found at ninjagirlmk.com/blog, which is also linked below. Would you like to see more of me? In that case, visit EmKayArchlink.com for links to my TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. My book, Unseen Powers, is available in hardback, paperback, or digitally through Amazon. Remember to drink water, eat some nummies, and have your best life. Bye!